Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech protected.
Welcome to BCRLIVE. I'm your host, Tremaine Dubaclay, live from New Orleans. Today, we're going to be bringing you brand new food creators from the New Orleans area, live jazz from the New Orleans area, and also brand new fashion and the big band culture of New Orleans. Now, to our man, Greg B in the street.
Public Enemy and the cats in New York dropping names, Malcolm in their rhymes, so I wouldn't have any black history compared to high school. Right. So go up to HBCU, learn all that stuff. I'm like, wow, I'm familiar with this stuff because I live in Houston. Right. So then I saw, literally, I was in the parking lot in Arkansas. And I turned on the radio and Laffy Taffy came on. Welcome to ITL Garden. Again, now I'm sitting down with a legendary. It's not legendary to you guys, he's legendary in Tremaine, Chef Rock. And he's going to tell you all about how ITL Garden got started and what was his vision and how much progress he's made in making his dream come true. So, Chef Rock, tell me, when did you come up with this idea to open up a vegan restaurant?
All right. Well, thank you for having me. I would say the idea came from a need in the community, you know. At one point, about 5-6 years ago, there was hardly any healthy options in the community, you know what I'm saying? So myself and my queen, Regina, you know, we came together and decided to start doing some vending in the community, like community events or what have you, you know. And it went well, you know. I mean, we started doing that for about 2 years, you know, and we was able to draw up a following, and people loved our food so much that you know, we was able to find an opportunity to sublease inside of a cafe Porsche Uptown, you know, at one point. So that's what we actually been pretty much doing, is subleasing throughout the city until we still in the process of getting our own establishment per se. But I think that was about 2 years or 3 years ago. We started at Cafe Porsche, then we ended up going to St. Claude and the Hills, and we was there for summer. And then we end up here right now, where we're now at PAX. We've been here for about a year.
And like I said, I do have the luxury of knowing this young man and followed him around location to location. I wasn't even a vegan eater, but I'm open and interested into anything healthy as, you know, a person that wants to live a quality life. So like I said, luckily, through Chef Rock, I was introduced to my first dish, actually, vegan, was at your spot. I say Uptown, I don't remember what location it was, Uptown. You know, again, ran into this young man and saw that he created this wonderful establishment, and I definitely had to get him on the show so I could show all you guys out here, if you're in the Tremaine area, where you need to stop by. And if you're not into vegan, really, it doesn't matter. It all tastes great if you're vegan or not. So it's definitely something to try, and you're definitely going to get the healthy benefits. But again, tell me, why is it called ITL Garden?
ITL is the root word for vital, you know, which means very important. So, you know, it was, you know, I got some of the Rastafarian culture in me, gotcha. You know what I mean, and I got actually inspired through that way of life, you know, to it inspired me to come out with ITL Garden, you know. That's the word ITL derived from ITL.
That's very deep, and I just learned something. I mean, that is so deep. Like I said, I'm already a fan. And I'm pretty sure anybody who tries anything here is going to be a fan. And one of the wonderful things that, again, what I do day to day, week to week, my lifestyle is I love culture. And I love having a culture from us. You know, I love the fact that we still evolve. Instead of going to some place that's commercial, that just has a formula, this has, like I said, that home cooking appeal, and also you can get to talk to and understand and create it. It's different when you know somebody's actually cooking with love and not just cooking because they know how to put some things together. It's a lot of thought, a lot of consciousness that goes into this. And of course, right now, being in the pandemic and things of that nature, we definitely will focus on our health. So if you have even considered choosing healthy alternatives in your diet, you definitely would start with the ITEL Garden. You kind of get acquainted, you know. You think I kind of captured the essence of?
Waving down from me right there.
Family oriented. You know, we're a family business, and we want everyone to feel like they pretty much at home. You know, we just started. You know, it's the beginning. You know, we expand. We planning to do some real great things in the community, especially once this COVID thing blew over. You know, we want to be able to bring health and wellness to the community like no one had. You know?
Absolutely. Well, I know you're definitely doing that already. Like I said, I could be anywhere, I could be showcasing any business, but I definitely wanted the world to know what I knew about this business right here. And again, one of the things that I did love the first time I ever tried your food, again, I like cauliflower. You know how much do you do with cauliflower? When I tell you this man done something to cauliflower that I didn't know could be done, I mean, it is wonderful. Cauliflower wings.
I'm over here messing with my cousin.
One of the specialties here at ITEL Garden. Just a good look at it. Looks wonderful. Let Chef Rock come back and tell you all about it. I cook and he was chef.
Right.
1, 2, 3. Well, let's go get one with me.
Just keep on that side.
North Bay Ball.
Oh man, I'm trying to get over here as much as I can. We pass here every day. What time do they open?
Thanks, Greg. As always, the food looked delicious. Shout out to ITEL Garden Restaurant on North Claiborne in New Orleans, Louisiana, and Chef Rock. Chef Rock took really great care of us, and if you go there, you'll see that he goes to each table one by one to check on how you're enjoying your experience at his restaurant. Now, we're going to go to Sasha Talks Tech. Sasha, what do you have for us today?
So if you're having a crappy day, your current situation is not your final destination. Those are some wise words that Miss Tanisha gave us on the stage today at Wonder Woman Tech DC. So you came here from New Jersey, correct?
Princeton, New Jersey.
Princeton, New Jersey, and you are, your speech just blew up on our Twitter timeline, all sorts of retweets and likes of some of the wonderful quotes that came from you during your speech. What was the other one that I was saying that was really popular?
So the idea of being a leader in the face of adversity, and I say face it with grit and handle it with grace.
Face it with grit and handle it with grace. I love that. I actually had someone come up to me and say, is the Grit and Grace panel happening yet? I don't want to miss that one. Yes. Tell me a little bit about how you got involved in this realm. I understand that you have an arts background and you are kind of like, I was really excited because the A in STEAM, for those who are not aware, stands for arts, so science, technology, engineering, mathematics, but then you squeeze that A in there and that's for the arts. So tell me why, in your opinion, arts are so important when it comes to tech.
So the arts inspire creativity, and what you need in innovation, you need creativity, and that's really what the A is about. For children and for anybody, I also say the A is about building confidence, right? And that's why I think the A is needed in STEM to STEAM. So we should be talking about STEAM. One of the things that's interesting is MFAs, whereas MBAs used to be the big degree, now it's the Masters of Fine Arts that I'm really excited is the big degree. But that's what the A is about in STEAM, arts.
And so you've had a very impressive career, if I do say so myself. I did a little bit of online research before we met.
Good.
But so tell me a little bit about how you got involved with women and sort of like encouraging women and people of color, minorities, diversity in general, like how that became sort of like your mantra and your mission throughout your career.
So it's always been something I've been passionate about, right? But I had a tragic issue 5 years ago. My husband died very suddenly, leaving me with 2 children. My children are now 7 and 11, but they were 2 and 6 when he died. So I went from being the supplemental income to the primary income, right? And thinking about the issues that women have to face. My own mother raised me as a single mother. I didn't expect to be a single mother. I was thrust into that. But looking at the issues about the economic realities for women, and it's why I got really involved in things like the U.S. Women's Chamber of Commerce. I became the regional director of it after volunteering. So that is one of those things, looking at the economic challenges for women in general. And a lot of those challenges impact us from a health standpoint as well, a mental health standpoint as well. I love that we had Dr. Weiss from Stanford here to give us a mindful moment. I'm taking that in. But that's how I became really passionate about looking at what we have to face as women. As a single mother, I can no longer take a salary that is less than I deserve. I actually fought for my salary. I didn't talk about that at this current position. When I was negotiating, you have to be bold and say, but this time my incentive was that I had children. I was a single mom. In the past, I actually took positions that were for less than I deserved because I just wanted to do the work. And I'm like, well, I'm not the primary breadwinner. Well, I shouldn't have been doing that either because that was bad for the other women that have to come behind me. So yes.
I think the reason why your talk resonated with so many people is because it's stuff that we are all dealing with. I think regardless of what level you are in your career, whether you're just starting out,
absolutely,
or whether you've been in business for 20 years, I think something that I'm finding as I talk to more and more women here is that we all sort of have that little thing inside that's sort of like, well, I don't have all of the qualifications. I don't know, am I really worthy? And I love that. Yes, I love that. Everything you said was just sort of targeting that like negative self-talk. It's like, no, you totally are worthy.
Right.
How did you get to that point? Have you always just been naturally energetic and positive? Or?
No, it's one of those things where I actually see in one of my children now. I have 2 children, right, and 2 daughters. One is personality is more like how I am now, and the other one is more like how I was. She's very shy, she's very reserved, and I've been working on her, not about the shyness, but about being assertive. And you can be shy, you can be introverted, but you can still be assertive, and you can still know your place and know that you are worthy. And that's really what I'm working on with my own children, to make sure that they understand that they are absolutely worthy as girls to whatever the boys want and get as well.
So tell me about the work that you're doing with Princeton.
Oh my goodness, I love my job.
Not everybody can say that, so that's awesome.
I love what we do, right? So the Arts Council of Princeton is a regional arts organization. It was founded in 1967. It originally was simply just an organization to promote arts in the community, and now we are an arts leader. So we offer all kinds of public programs, education. We have some celebrity sort of relationships in this. Shortly before I started, Ethan Hawke, the actor, kind of rolled into our lobby, and hadn't started yet, had rolled into our lobby and was looking around and said to his daughter, this is where Daddy got his start, because as a little kid, he took acting classes. So we offer over 500 classes in the visual and performing arts at our building, but we also do outreach work, and that's really what I'm passionate about, the work that we do with our most vulnerable citizens in our region. We work with homeless children, we work with seniors, we work with people with disabilities. Those are all of the things that I'm really excited, and that's outreach work. We don't charge for that work. That's the stuff that I'm really passionate about that we do.
That's incredible. So I have to ask you, why do you think, still to this day, when they're looking for programs to cut, for instance, in education or something like that, it seems like the arts are always the first to go. Even now, when we see like with designers and I mean everything from Facebook to whatever you can think of has like this creative, team.
Right.
Yet it's still sort of frowned upon and as unrealistic, or it's not something that you can really pursue as a career.
Right.
Why do you think that's still happening, and how are you combating that in your work?
Well, we are supplemental to schools. I think the work that we do, for all of the reasons that you just said, is so important because they're taking it out of the school. Organizations like us, community arts education organizations, are so important. But I will say, this coming fall, we hope to start our first in-school program
that's exciting.
called TAPAS, and it'll be in Trenton, which is an inner city community, and Princeton. So Trenton and Princeton Arts Scholars. So I'm pretty excited about that. But it's a shame because the arts, participation in the arts, they find through research results in a number of different things. Less dropout. In fact, it reduces absenteeism if they're in that, but all of the other things, it creates confidence, as we talked about earlier, the sense of I can do this. Those are all important things, no matter your socioeconomic level. And it also helps with creativity. There's a direct connection between that work and math, for instance, talking about STEM and STEAM, I should say. So I have no idea why it's not valued the way it should. And that's why we rely on people like yourself, advocates for the arts that, such as this year, helped save the National Endowment for the Arts when the current administration was threatening to defund it. So those are the things that I'm, again, as you can tell, passionate about. Yes.
So tell me, are you a visual artist? Like, what type of are you? Are you a musician? Like, what are your passions?
So
like?
I love all of it. As what do you call it? An audience
patron?
at the patron level. But as a child, I participated. So as a child, I went to visual art. I was one of those beneficiaries of a scholarship to visual arts camps. We do those at my organization as well. The visual arts camp that I attended in New York, I looked it up recently. If my mom had to pay for it, and it was today, she would be paying $1,000 a week for that. It would have been outside the reach. Even where we are, our camp is about $350 a week, not including aftercare, and that's out of reach for a lot of people. And so we also provide scholarships. So no, I haven't danced. I was about half this size, but I was a Westchester Arts Program dance scholar, I want to point out, and I was accepted to the Dance Theater of Harlem. That was over 35 years ago, so I haven't done anything like that. Right now, I'm really a patron, but I do have my kids and things. My 7-year-old thinks she's going to be the next Misty Copeland. My 11-year-old is a violinist. Those are the things that I, if they're passionate about it, I'm taking them to it.
And the reason why I ask that is because there could be people watching who are kind of like me. Like I said, I don't have necessarily a technical background,
right?
But I find myself, drawn to this industry,
right?
And that A in STEAM kind of like gives you an in.
It gives you an in. But let me just say this, you do not have to know how to code to create a new tech innovation.
That's a very,
and
very
so
good
that's
point.
That's the other thing that I want people to know. However, I do encourage you to learn to code if you want to. My 6-year-old, when my children were 6 and 5, they learned to code by going to scratch.mit.edu. Going to so that's a tip. It's free. Go to, if you have children, scratch.mit.edu, and your kids can teach themselves to code.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh, it's been such a pleasure. I can just keep talking to you and talking to you.
I love
but
you.
I mean,
You're
there's this whole
awesome.
conference here for us to see.
Yes.
But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
And guys, if you want to follow her on social media, it's very simple.
My first name, which is TANESHIA. It's at Tanisha on Twitter. The easiest thing is just go to my website, which is myfirstname.com. So TANESHIA.com. Thank you so much.
That's some incredible branding.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sasha. We really appreciate your hard work keeping us in touch with the tech world that's going on today. Next, we're going to bring you to another episode of the New Orleans Big Band Culture. Now, everything in New Orleans is about music. You're going to see a high school band showing you that they've got everything it takes to be great musicians. Out to you, John. poetry community. Now we've got a great poet, and she's going to pour her heart out. Now this was live from Kermit Ruffin's restaurant on our Thursday nights. BCRLIVE, live from Kermit Ruffin's, live from New Orleans. I'm Tremaine Dubaclay, your host.
Black woman, divine and mysterious, beautiful shape. Damn, she's something serious. But what is it like to be a black woman? Well, to me, it's to be wanted but ostracized, impersonated but criticized, pressured to be submissive but still automatically masculinized. Expected to be strong and endure. If there's a disease, my sister, you are the cure. And now that's a strong black woman. What is it like to be a black woman? Is it undesirable? At least that's what they say, because what man wants a strong woman anyway? I mean, if you ask a man what kind of woman he wants, the first thing he says will not be strong. And if it is, run for the hills, because something is wrong. Because what you plan on putting her through, well, you need her to be strong to deal with you. That's not normal. Black woman, constantly told we are the backbone of the community. I had a brother tell me, you know, I love our black women, but y'all want to be men. Y'all don't want to teach us and help us grow into the men we supposed to be. Y'all rather be independent instead of submitting to your man. Sir, I don't even know your name, but how am I supposed to submit to a man I had to train? I don't even know your name, but how am I supposed to submit to a man I had to train? I mean, something ain't right with this equation. You got a hell of an imagination if you think I'm going to submit to my creation. You'd rather be a glorified baby daddy than a husband. You have no powerful connections, and all I'm supposed to submit? It's constantly hearing and being told that black women only go for the drug dealers and the gangsters, when the truth is, I'm about to blow your mind with this one.
Blow my mind.
Black women are still women, right? So as women, we naturally gravitate towards men who we perceive to be leaders, money, power, and respect. Unfortunately, in our community, the men who intentionally appear to fit their rule were the bad guys with the nice cars and the cool shoes. Then she finds out that he's just another abusive bum, and now she's back to square one. But what is it like to be a black woman? Well, it starts from girlhood. Some of you saw your mothers give your brothers privileges you can only dream, because he was the man of the house and was treated like a king, while you got hassled because she told you there was only one queen in this castle. That's right. They told us, be strong and be independent and don't be afraid to use your words, but at the same time they also told us we're supposed to be seen but not heard. They said, don't you date outside your race and be a bad wench. You better find you a black man and submit.
Whoa.
They said, go to school, get an education, and chase them figures. But if you're only open to a man who shares the same experience, you're wrong and possibly a gold digger. What is it like to be a black woman? Everybody wants a piece of the black woman, including black men, the LGBT, and the feminist movement. Oh, they love the way we walk, but don't want to walk in our shoes. They want our rhythm, but not our blues. But you don't get to choose when I get to be feminine. You don't get to choose when I get to be feminine, because you only want me to be strong when it works in your benefit. I can only be aggressive when I'm fighting on your behalf. Well, if that's your choice of logic, you can kiss my black. Now, don't get me wrong. Strength is not a negative, but it is a masculine trait. And when you're constantly in that state, you only stand in your own way. Black women, sit back your femininity and fix your crown. They say we don't submit, which is completely untrue, but let's give these brothers a chance to give us something to submit to. Alarming stats. Doctors force unnecessary C-sections onto black women. And if she asks too many questions, they label her difficult and crazy. But the truth is, C-sections cost more, but take less time. So really the doctors are just greedy and fucking lazy. And if you think that's a shame, hospitals withhold medication because they're convinced black women don't feel pain. At least not compared to any other woman walking this earth, which is why black women die 3 to 4 times more during childbirth. About a third of all black women are living with little tumors called fibroids. And they just living like they're used to this, even though they're 3 times more likely to have problems to lead to hysterectomies. You know, when they remove your fucking uterus? About 75,000 women and girls are currently missing. And out of all missing kids, black children make up 35 of that percentage. And when it comes to abortions, black women make up 37%, knowing it could cause damage. But you gotta ask yourself, why would so many sisters rather terminate a pregnancy than bring a life to this planet? This is what it's like to be a black woman, to be broke but still giving, to be sick but still healing, changing our hair and doing our makeup and getting our body right, because the least we could do is not look like what we've been through. Black woman, sit your ass down. Light skin, dark skin, or pretty fine brown, take back your femininity and fix your crown. I'm Shaddai the Poet. Thank y'all.
Today on BCR Live, we're rocking apparel that was sent to us from Big Homie West out of Vermont. Just know that this sweatshirt is really comfortable with soft material and really warm. You should order you one. Shout out again to the Big Homie West for making sure that we had his gear here to rock on our show. To all apparel brand owners, if you want your brand showcased here on BCR Live, just contact us at BCRHipHopMag@gmail.com. You send it in, and I'll showcase it to the world.